Right now we're in St. Lucia working on some travel videos, but in the meantime we want to do a quick how-to how we fix the leaky faucet. Hey, if you've been following along, you know that we recently purchased a condo in Surfside Beach, South Carolina that was built in 1983. And we did a little renovation. Most of it was done by outside contractors, but Sue and I did some of the stuff ourselves, like replacing the garbage disposal and piping under the sink, and getting rid of the noisy exhaust fan. But we also found some problems, like a leaking valve.
I did a pre-op echo. His aorta valve is leaking.
No, not that type of valve.
That's right, we're talking about the water shutoff valve for the condo that's located in the bathroom. And this shuts off the water to the entire unit. But every time I would turn it on or off, it would leak. And after doing some research, I found that it could be a problem with the packing nut. Now they say you could tighten the packing nut a little bit, maybe a quarter turn, and that can stop the leak. Well, I tried that and it didn't work. So in that situation, it means the material under the packing nut that makes the seal to keep the water from leaking out may have worn out and gone bad. Now sometimes under the packing nut to make the seal, there could be a washer or maybe some Teflon or maybe some graphite. I suspect mine is graphite because when it would leak, it would often be mixed with kind of a black sort of powder. So I'm going to attempt to replace the material under the packing valve, the material that makes the seal. Went down to Home Depot and they sell two types. They sell the white type, which is Teflon, and the gray type, which is graphite. Since the reviews on the Teflon are better, I'm going to go with the Teflon and see if I can do this repair myself. So unfortunately, I can't turn off the water to this valve, so the valve is going to be under water pressure. But what I'm going to do is slowly back off the nut and see if I can replace the material underneath. Let's hope I don't end up like this. All right, so let's head over back to the condo and see if we can get this repair done. Okay, we're back at the condo. Now let's fix that packing nut. Now I read on the internet that even if you can't turn off the water to the spigot, which is like in our case, you can still safely change the packing nut. And as you know, I trust what's said on the internet.
Yeah, you should definitely believe everything you read on the internet.
Oh boy.
So with blind ambition and very little knowledge, I climbed under the cabinet to begin the repair. All right, so here's the valve. This is the one that turns the water on and off for the unit, but every time we turn it, it leaks from the nut back here. So let me set up the camera and we'll show you how we try to fix this. Okay, so this is the packing nut. And what this does, and you can see it's leaking water, what this does is there's packing material underneath the nut that tightens down when you tighten the nut, and that stops water from leaking along the stem. So the first step is you have to close the valve, especially if the water's on. Close the valve completely. And then open the spigot and relieve the pressure in the lines. Then you have to remove the handle because you have to back the nut out and take it off at the end. Now I did spray this with some lubricating liquid because thinking that the handle might be stuck on there since it's been on there for like 40 years. So let's see if we can get this handle off. And unfortunately, the handle is stuck. It's stuck on. Look at that. Stuck on. I don't think there's anything holding it from this end. It should just be the screw, and the screw is out. But I cannot remove this handle, unfortunately. And I'd have to get this out so I could back the nut out and then pull it over the end of the spigot here and put the new packing material underneath the nut. But with this handle in the way, this is not going to work. If anybody has any ideas of how to get a stuck handle off, let me know. I certainly could get a hammer and begin to bang it, but considering this is a shutoff valve, I don't want to damage the valve internally and cause a flood in the condo. But I'll try a little longer and let's see if we can get this off. I'll try to pull it. Let's see. All right, so I tried and tried and tried, even used the screwdriver to try to wedge it out, pull it out from here, and this handle will not budge. It will not budge at all. So I'm going with plan B. As I said before early in the video, you can sometimes just tighten this nut up. I tried that before, it didn't seem to do much. So my plan B is to tighten the nut up a little more and see what happens. See if I can move it. Now, I think the nut is all the way down to the end, and it will not budge. All right, that's too bad. So plan C, I'm making something up. I'm going to open the valve all the way, which I just did, and then I'm going to try wrapping the packing material on the outside of the stem and then tighten the valve down and see if somehow that slows down the drips of water.
It's never gonna work.
Okay, and again, I'm just making this up. The valves are all the way open. If I get some string packing material and wrap it around the stem, what's going to happen? Probably nothing, but we'll see. Put a generous amount around. And this is something I'm just making up. Haven't seen this anywhere, probably because it doesn't work. But I figure, what the heck? Got nothing to lose. Tied a little knot on there. Now, let me see if I turn this, if this will crush it and put it into the nut. Let's see. I don't think it's doing anything. Nope, no luck. Time to call a plumber. Especially since I touched it, now when I turn it on, it does this. That's no good. Okay, so we called Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, who, if you live in this area, you know who they are. They've done work for us before at our main house, and they're coming out today to stop the leak and fix the problem. Okay, so the plumbers are here. They came within probably an hour and a half from us calling, which is pretty good. But the problem is they say they want to replace the entire valve, which would require turning off the water to the building, and nobody knows where the shutoff valve is to the building. So now the street department's coming out to show them where the shutoff valve is. Now, after the water was shut off to the entire building, the plumbers went to work. They stated that they can't repair the valve and recommended putting in a new one, and that's exactly what they did. So hats off to CJ and Anderson of Benjamin Plumbing. They did come to the rescue and they fixed our problem. Until next time, safe travels.
Next up, St. Lucia. So subscribe and hit that bell.